Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm here talking about a brand new subscription box. So this is the premiere of the Beat Face box. This was sent to me in PR, but this video is in no way sponsored. I was just sent this to give my honest feedback on the products that were inside. And yeah, so we're going to talk about everything that came in this stunning box, by the way. For a subscription box, you have to give it to them. This is adorable. This is a brand new subscription service. It just launched in December. And a little side note, if you get Slay Glam Box, this is from them. Like, she put this box together as well. She took a lot of feedback from people who get the Slay Glam Box and addressed things like the packaging, more products, more brands, faster shipping, because this one was actually sent to me in another box. It got sent to me priority mail, so she took everyone's feedback from that box and just ran with it with this new subscription service. So I really do appreciate that she did that. Now this service is different from the Slay Glam box, where that one is every month. This is only going to be bi-monthly, and it is $39.99. I did use everything in this box to create this look today, and I actually really like everything that came in here. I've got some feedback on a couple of the products, but if you want to see how I use them to create this entire look, we're going to go through each of the items one by one, and I'll give you a little bit of information about it while you see me applying the product. Before we get into things, I want to remind you guys to smash that subscribe button, become part of the Wolf Pack today. Now let's get into it. I love the way that she did this, seriously. You have to open the purse to get to the product, and the presentation on this is very nice. Now obviously I did open it, use it, and I put everything back in here the way it came, but I do like the way everything is done, and everything was very securely packaged in here. But I did see that she bumped up the bubble wrap in here a notch and individually wrapped some items, so that was really good. And she does give you a rundown of the pricing for each of the items. Now there were two variations, and there was a variation in lippy products. Oh, and this one is all makeup. The only thing that I forgot to use in today's video was a pair of lashes. This is from Rude Cosmetics, and this is in the style Accentuate. Rude Cosmetics, makeup with an attitude. These lashes, they do look really, really nice. They are very full and fluttery, but not to the point where it's annoying. But one thing I do notice with the lashes is that they don't exactly match. And I wouldn't worry so much about the end because normally I cut them, so it's no issue. It's just for the inner corner on the right lash, they don't match. The longer, the very, very inner part of that lash is actually very long, and I'm afraid that if I wore that, it's going to stab me a little bit. It may just drive me crazy. I don't know if it's every one or if this is just a one-off case with mine, but just a little side note on that. And like I said, everything was wrapped up in here so that nothing would get broken. So I'm going to go ahead and just take everything out and kind of go through the makeup application. Now there were two variations of eyeshadow palettes you could get. Alright, so the first thing that I used in today's video was the eyeshadow palette from Steb. And Steb stands for the Secret to Eternal Beauty. This is their 35 pen palette, and it's the greatest Steb. I keep wanting to say show. The greatest Steb, I don't know, it doesn't really roll off the tongue very smoothly, if you know what I'm saying. But the palette itself is very, very beautiful. I love the colors that are in here. There are some bolder colors, but there's a lot of pastel in here too, so it kind of makes it, pastel is kind of having its moment right now. Especially, like I've been seeing the looks everywhere, all over Instagram, so I am definitely going to be using this for a pastel look in the future. But for the look that I went for today was very, you know, pink, magenta, you know, very much me. Especially, I gotta get my hair redone. If I had had fresh hair, this would have matched my hair exactly. But I kept it kind of simple. I didn't go too crazy with the colors. But I started off the look today first with my Fenty concealer, just to prime the lid and prep it for eyeshadow. Then I went to the transition color with this peach shade, sort of close to the middle. That one, it took a couple of layers to build it up and get it to the intensity that I wanted for my eye look. And then I went to the corner and used this pale nude shade and used that to blend out the transition. And whenever I finished it, I thought it was missing a little bit of something, so I went to this coral shade here by the blues And by the way, that coral beside the blue looks really, really pretty. But I went into the coral shade to add on top of the transition just to warm it up a little bit and give it a little bit more something extra. And I didn't worry about doing any cut creases or anything like that. I kind of kept my look, you know, something you can do quick and on the run. You don't have to put so much work into it to clean it up, but if you want to, I think it'll be really pretty. But for the lid, I went in with this pinkish magenta shade. Put that in a little bit more into the middle, but I knew I wanted to add some more colors into it. So I did take out just a little bit on the outer corner and mostly in the middle of the eye. And then I went down into the burgundy shade and I used that to do the outer corner of the eye. Just give it a little bit of extra dimension, and I made sure that I blended well going into each of these colors and blended them back into the transition. That way I could make sure there was a smooth gradient between that and my eyebrow. I went over with a different color. This is kind of a champagne-y silver color, or it's this one in the corner. It's a very, very unique shade. I don't think I really have anything like that in my other palettes. But I put that on the inner third of the eye and dragging it over the center just a little bit, just to blend it into that magenta shade. And when I first put it on, I thought it looked pretty, but it was kind of too icy for the look. I wanted to warm it up a little bit, so I went back to the gold, the shimmer gold shade beside this bright lime. Like, I'm looking at it in the monitor and that lime is just standing out so much. It's like a neon green, not lime. But I put that gold over the silver on the eyelid and it kind of warmed it up again. So we have sort of like maybe it's a sunset, but I like the variation that it gave the eye look. And I just went and repeated the magenta on the lower lash line and a little bit of the deeper burgundy on the very corner. And I put on a very, very baby wing and lashes for the eye look. Now the next thing that I did was my foundation, concealer, all that good stuff, and my brows, because I came back to use the Laura Gellar Filter Fix Baked Correcting Setting Powder. And this is in the shade Universal Apricot. Whenever I first got this, I was a little bit worried. I'm not gonna lie. I was worried that this was going to be too orange for me, but I have dark under eye circles and I have darkness around my mouth. It's just, it's got like a bluish purplish tint around my lips. And so I did a little bit of color correction, and the color itself, which by the way, it's in the netting in the middle. And I like that it helps it, the lid here kind of helps keep it contained so it doesn't go absolutely everywhere. But I put that on my face and it almost brightened the skin. I think it's because the apricot color, it did a little bit of color correction for me on top of what I already had done, and it did such a good job setting everything, and it didn't leave my face feeling too dry. So it's not a very stripping powder. Like, if you're gonna bake with it, I wouldn't leave it on for very long, but yeah, so far I like it. Okay, so after I did that, my eyes were done, my foundation was set. I wasn't going to finish the rest of my base makeup, but I thought my lips were looking a little bit bare and looked a little bit off with the bright eyeshadow and nothing on my lips. So I went into a lip liner that I got in my Slay Glam box in December. This is the Rasha B Cosmetics liner in the shade Natural. Use that to line my lips because the next product that we got in the Beat Face box is a lippy from ColourPop. I'm actually so glad to see ColourPop in more boxes here lately. This is their Ultra Glossy Lip, and the shade that I got was Bestie. There were 4 different shades you could possibly get, and mine is just a pinky nude shade, which, you know, I love pinky nudes. Come on. I love pink in general. And it's not overly sticky, like it's not going to drive you absolutely crazy. I actually like their formula. ColourPop makes really good products, and the color overall I think is a hit for me. I really like it. Now moving back to our base makeup, I used the next product that we got in our subscription box. This is a blush palette from Rude Cosmetics. This is the Undaunted Blush Palette. At first off, whenever I was taking this out of the box, I saw it backside up, and it looks like, I don't know if you can see this in the camera, but I'm guessing you can actually pop these out and replace them once they're used up. I haven't tried forcing them out, but they're kind of loose. They look like they're trying to pop out already, so I'm guessing that's what they're for. You're supposed to be able to replace them. But this is actually a pretty good palette. The only color that kind of threw me off was this one here, and I used it for my bronzer, but honestly it's so cool tone that if you're wanting to contour with it, it was really good for that. But I did try to use that just to add a little dimension to my face, and I did run it down my neck, and I tried to do some light contouring with it. It did okay. Bless you. It did okay. It blended out pretty well, but it's not my favorite. And this says specifically a blush palette, so I mean, maybe if you're a deeper skin tone, that would be a really good blush for you, but it just seems like more of a contour shade for me, so maybe this should be called a face and cheek palette in my opinion. And you do have a couple of shimmery blushes. I didn't get a chance to use either one of those, but I did use this blush here. You kind of have to work at it to get a little bit of color payoff on this, but I don't mind it. I don't like blushes where you go in and it's a super intense strike of color right away. I like something that you can build up to the intensity that you want, so I actually prefer this, the way it performed. It's a drier formula. It's not chalky, but it is a drier formula than what I've seen in other products. And also it has a really good mirror in here. This is good if you want to travel with it, that way you can do your whole makeup with just this one mirror. And the last thing that was in the box, and I'm very glad that this was wrapped up as well, is a highlighter duo. This is from Laura Gellar. This is the High Def Glow Illuminator Duo. So in the box we got a couple items from Laura Gellar, a couple items from Rude Cosmetics, ColourPop, and Steb. I'd never heard of Steb, but the other brands I had heard of, and I like them. It is a very gold tone highlighter. This isn't something normally I would gravitate towards because gold, this looks better on deeper skin tones in my opinion, but I was very surprised. There is one that has more of a metallic highlight, and the one on the right is more of a glittery highlight. I love a glittery highlight, so that's what I went for, and I was actually very happy with how it performed. I put it on highlight, and it wasn't like it's gold, but it's not to the point where it's obnoxious. And also the glitteriness in here, it doesn't, because I guess maybe the way I applied it, instead of swiping it back and forth, I kind of tapped it onto my skin, and it didn't seem to really accentuate any texture on my face. Like this one did really good. And again, it has an awesome mirror. I love it when products have mirrors so that you can travel with them if you want to do any touch-ups on the go. Alright, that is everything that I got in my box this month. And let's go ahead and do a quick tally to see how much the box was worth. So the eyeshadow palette was worth $22. The Laura Gellar highlighter was worth $33. The Laura Gellar setting powder was worth $33. The foam ink lashes from Rude Cosmetics, those are worth $6. The Rude Cosmetics blush palette was worth $11. Okay, that is a really good deal for $11 on a blush palette. Like, that's really good. And then the ColourPop Cosmetics liquid lipstick retailed for $7. So that was a total value of $112, and it is a $39.99 subscription box. I think it's a good deal. I think it's a good value. And I also want to say that she's already started putting out previews for the next box, and it is the Natasha Nona Mini Lila palette. I got this from Sephora during a half off sale, and I haven't had a chance to really do a whole lot with it, but Natasha Nona is an extremely high-end brand. Normally her palettes are $130. It's insane. So for their, I think it's her second box, and there's already going to be Natasha Nona in there. That's pretty awesome. I'm very impressed with how this is going so far. And also, again, the packaging on the box, you can't beat that. It is so adorable. Like, I can imagine if you have a daughter or a niece or something, if you gave that box to them, they would love it to death. Like, they would probably use it as a real purse. It's so cute. But alright guys, that is my little unboxing and review of the Beat Face box. What do you think? If you want to sign up for Beat Face box, or just to check around on their Instagram and see what is going on, what kind of products you can get, keep up with spoilers, I will make sure I have everything linked down below if you want to check them out. Alright guys, well thank you so much for taking time to watch this. I hope you're having a great day, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye. I'll see you later.